Since this is going to be a long project, I'm going to break this project up into 3 separate videos. So in this video, this will be part 1 of us doing the HTML for our rock, paper, scissors shoe game. And then in the next video, we'll do the CSS. And the third one will be for the JavaScript. So let's take a look at our game real quick. So we have these 3 options here, rock, paper, and scissor. And I don't know why this computer is all the way over here, but we'll fix it as we go. So all you have to do is click on one of these options. I'll pick rock, and it says it's a draw because I picked rock and the computer picked rock. And if you click play again, it's just going to refresh and sets everything back to normal. And this time I'll pick paper. I lost because paper against scissor, paper loses. And you notice that the scoreboard changed. So the computer got 1 and I still have 0. So that's basically how the game works, but it's kind of complex. So like I said, I'm going to break it up into 3 separate videos because as you see with the JavaScript, there's a lot of else if statements and if statements going on here. So we wouldn't want to make this a 2-hour long video. So I'll just get rid of all of this. So now all that goes away, and I'll just grab my bootstrap link right here and link it in my head tag. So I'll create a link tag. Rel equals style sheet, href equals this link right here, and now we have applied bootstrap to our website. And if you want to, you can even give it a name. So I'll just call this rock, paper, scissors game. That's what I'll call it. Now if we refresh, it should say that right there. And then in between our 2 body tags, I'll just create a div with the ID of container. So this will store everything on our web page. And then we'll create another div with the ID of main layout, and we'll have an h1 that says rock, paper, scissor game. And underneath the h1, I'll create a div with the ID of user, and we'll just name it u. And we'll create a div with the ID of computer, so with the ID of computer, and then I'll call it computer. And I'll create another div with the ID of images, and then an img with the class of img. ID will be rock. Source equals this really long link right here. So I'll just highlight it and then paste it into the source. And this is going to take up a lot of room since it's so long. But first I have to give an alt tag of rock. And now once we paste that, we should have our rock, which is right here. And then after that, we can create our paper. So I'll just create another img tag with the class of img. ID will be paper, alt equals paper, and then the source will be this right here. I grabbed the wrong link, so let me go grab this one. It's not supposed to be rock, and now we have our paper. And we'll just do the same thing for our scissors. So I'll do class equals img, ID equals scissor, alt equals scissor, and the source will be this right here. And once again, I grabbed the wrong link, so it's scissor. It's this one right here. So I'll just paste it in there like that, and we have our scissor. And then we'll create another div with the ID of winner, and then another one with the ID of computer choice. This one will be div ID equals user text. This will be button ID equals button. This will be play again. And now we can create our scoreboard. So we'll do div ID equals scoreboard. And then within this scoreboard, we want to have another div with the ID of user label. And this will just be named user score. Another div with the ID of computer label. And then I'll create another one called user score and just set it to 0. Another div with the ID of computer score. And this will also be 0. Since no one has gotten a point yet. And this is pretty much all we need for our HTML and for this video as well. So stay tuned for the next video, and I'll see you in the next one.